In the Orion arm, humanity stumbles into galactic society like a rogue comet, barely tolerated by the Stellar Alliance. When they abandon a lone scientist on a death world to perish, they expect her to fade into oblivion. Instead, she forges an unbreakable bond with the planet's deadliest predator, rewriting the laws of survival. This is the saga of Dr. Lena Varkas and her extraordinary ally, the Stellar Alliance, a coalition of species who'd harnessed black hole energy while humans were still mastering steam, grudgingly admitted Earth into their ranks 2 cycles after first contact, with the enthusiasm of inviting a swarm of locusts to a harvest festival. Humans were chaotic, resilient, and infamous for inventions like plasma cannons and algorithm-driven dance crazes, making them both a scientific curiosity and a diplomatic nightmare. The Alliance's strategy was containment, assign humans marginal roles to curb their disruptive potential while appeasing Earth's insistent diplomats. Dr. Lena Varkas, a xenobiologist whose first name was her only unclassified detail after repeated clashes with Alliance bureaucracy, embodied humanity's defiant spirit. Her personnel file, redacted to obscurity, hid a career forged in Earth's harshest proving grounds, surviving Venusian acid storms, quelling pirate raids in the Kuiper Belt, and outwitting rogue AIs in orbital slums. By Alliance standards, she was a minor asset, but her Earth Defense Corps training made her a force of nature. Aboard the ASV Horizon's Edge, orbiting XK-47, nicknamed Hell's Cauldron in crew logs, Lena hunched over her console, filtering out the condescension of her alien colleagues. "Your organic fragility is charming," said Science Officer Cryan, a Zeltarian whose crystalline limbs refracted the ship's sterile lights into prismatic cascades. His voice, a discordant hum like shattering glass, dripped with amusement. "Happy to entertain between toxin scans," Lena retorted, eyes locked on her screen, analyzing XK-47's atmospheric data. The Horizon's Edge, a sleek exploration vessel, housed a crew of 2 Zeltarians, a Quarix hive mind with 7 networked bodies, and Commander Veltara, a Vixian whose serpentine form and clicking scales evoked a supercomputer wrapped in a rattlesnake's skin. XK-47 was a Class 10 death world, a cauldron of 1.4 Earth gravity, an atmosphere thick with neurotoxic vapors, and an ecosystem where every organism seemed to compete for the most inventive way to kill. Carnivorous plants wielded razor-sharp tendrils, insects spat corrosive venom, and predators roamed with jaws that could crush titanium. Lena was the token human, included to placate Earth's demands for representation, while ensuring she couldn't interfere with serious Alliance science. Her role was to log data, nod politely, and stay out of the way. A glorified intern in a galaxy that viewed humans as barely sentient. "Commander Veltara summons you for the surface briefing," Cryan said, his crystals pulsing with faint mockery. "Though your soft tissues would dissolve in XK-47's air." Lena's lips twitched. Her training included hostile environment protocols that would make a Zeltarian's circuits fry, but humans had learned to play the underdog for strategic advantage. Feigning weakness kept the Alliance off guard, a tactic Lena had mastered during her core days, talking down mutinous soldiers in Venus's sulfur-choked trenches. In the briefing room, a symphony of ultrasonic pulses, pheromone clouds, and scale clicks fell silent as Lena entered. The air thrummed with alien communication, a reminder of her outsider status. "The human graces us," Veltara hissed, her forked tongue flicking with disdain, her emerald scales glinting under the hollow projectors. "We're finalizing XK-47 survey parameters." Lena leaned forward, her voice calm but firm. "I've reviewed the atmospheric data. Neurotoxins are within my suit's filtration capacity, and gravity's manageable with exosupport." "You misunderstand," Veltara snapped, her tail coiling like a whip. "We determine who descends. Your attendance is a procedural courtesy." The airlock hissed behind Lena, a sound that sent her instincts screaming. She didn't turn. Didn't need to. The trap was set. "The Quarix propose a field test of human adaptability," the hive mind intoned through its 7 vocal nodes, their voices overlapping in eerie harmony. A sharp sting pierced Lena's neck, a tranquilizer dart flooding her system with numbness. "Rest well, Doctor." Cryan's glass-shatter laugh echoed as her vision blurred. "Your sacrifice will advance our understanding." Consciousness returned like a slap, Lena's eyes snapping open to a sky of churning crimson and violet, lightning crackling like a cosmic tantrum. The air reeked of sulfur, decay, and a cloying sweetness that made her stomach churn. She lay, sprawled on jagged volcanic rock, clad in her standard-issue expedition suit, stripped of weapons, comms, and dignity. Her utility belt held a single hydration pack, enough water for 3 days if rationed ruthlessly. "They left my boots," she muttered, hauling herself upright. "How sporting." XK-47's ecosystem was a slaughterhouse. Plants lashed with barbed vines, insects skittered with venom-dripping mandibles, and distant roars hinted at predators that could make Earth's megafauna look like house cats. A guttural bellow shook the ground, close enough to raise Lena's. Hackles. Her suit's diagnostics, the one system her crew couldn't sabotage without rendering it useless, flickered online. The heads-up display, SHU-D, mapped her position. 25 kilometers from the survey zone, far enough to ensure death, close enough for the ship's sensors to record her demise for scientific analysis. Accessing mission files, Lena found Veltara's handiwork. Forged orders for a human-led reconnaissance complete with her falsified signature. If she died, it'd be logged as operator error or biological failure. If she survived the 10-day mission window, they'd depart, reporting her missing or killed in action. "A clean little murder," Lena growled, crushing a scuttling creature with bladed legs under her boot. "Not today, freak." Survival instincts, honed in Venus's acid rains and Kuiper's zero-G ambushes, kicked in. Priority 1, shelter. Priority 2, a water source beyond her pack. Priority 3, a defensible position. Her HUD detected a cave system 0.7 kilometers west with lower neurotoxin levels. Trekking across the treacherous terrain, Lena cataloged resources. Obsidian, shards for cutting tools, fibrous vines for cordage, mineral deposits for improvised weapons. "Cryan, you crystalline prick," she said to the hostile void. "I've survived worse than your betrayal." Lena's resolve was rooted in her past. Born in Earth's overcrowded refugee domes after climate collapse, she'd fought her way into the Defense Corps, earning scars and medals in equal measure. XK-47 was just another crucible, and she'd be damned if it broke her. Dusk fell, painting the landscape in blood-red hues. At the cave entrance, a heat signature froze her in place. Massive, hotter than a reactor core. "Of course it's occupied," she whispered, flattening against the rock wall. Her suit's night vision revealed XK-47's apex predator, dubbed Reaper by the crew. A 4-meter colossus with 8 limbs, armored in metallic plates that shimmered like molten mercury. Its elongated skull bristled with spikes, housing 4 rows of serrated teeth and 10 eyes arranged radially, each pupil tracking independently. A low rumble vibrated the ground. It sensed her. Running was futile. Reapers clocked 80 kph in bursts. Fighting was suicide. "Think, Lena," she muttered, heart pounding. The Reaper emerged, its grace defying its tank-like bulk. In the fading light, Lena spotted deep gashes on its flank, oozing green ichor. Something had wounded it. Something worse. It sank to the ground, eyes dimming with exhaustion. Lena's training included xenobiological first aid for allies, not monsters, but her hydration pack's nanites, designed for human tissue, might adapt to carbon-based life. "This is beyond stupid," she said, slowly retrieving the pack. Pointing to its wounds, then the water, she met its gaze. 10 eyes locked on her, gleaming with intelligence, not sentience but cunning. Tearing her sleeve, Lena soaked it with nanite-laced water and stepped forward, her voice steady from years calming panicked squads. "We both need this cave. Whatever. Cut, you might come back. Truce?" The Reaper extended its wounded side, a gesture of trust that stopped her breath. Pressing the compress to the gashes, she muttered, "I'm not tasty anyway. Just scars and stubbornness." Dawn exploded over XK-47 like a chemical firestorm, the binary suns igniting the sky with a howl of reacting gases. Lena jolted awake, in the cave disoriented, then remembered her unlikely roommate. The Reaper, curled at the entrance, blocked any intruders with its massive bulk. Overnight, the nanites had worked beyond expectation. The gashes were scabbing, the green ichor clotting into protective layers. "Morning, you big nightmare," Lena said, stretching cautiously. "Mind if I call you Fang? Too cliché? How about Spike?" The Reaper's 10 eyes swiveled, pupils narrowing in the light. A rumble, part purr, part growl, answered. "Spike it is." Their truce held through the night. Lena had treated more wounds before exhaustion claimed her, half expecting to wake up as breakfast. Instead, Spike guarded the cave, its warning growls scattering smaller predators that skulked in the dark. By day 3, a fragile routine emerged. Each morning, Lena checked Spike's injuries, talking to keep it calm, her voice a steady anchor from her core days soothing shell-shocked recruits. "You're a terrible patient," she said, cleaning a scabbed plate with a vine-soaked cloth. Spike tensed at first, then relaxed, shifting to give her better access, its eyes tracking her with unnerving focus. Lena ventured out for short recon missions, mapping the terrain and gathering resources. Obsidian for blades, vines for traps, mineral-rich clay for camouflage paste. Spike followed at a distance, its presence a shield against XK-47's lesser horrors, venomous insects, snapping plants, and prowling mid-tier predators. The first time Lena noticed Spike's shadow, her heart nearly stopped, mistaking it for a stalk. But when a 6-legged carnivore lunged, Spike's roar sent it fleeing, and Lena realized it was guarding her. "Not bad for a monster," she muttered, a grin tugging at her lips. On day 5, she tested a theory, leaving behind a cluster of protein-rich fungi, confirmed safe by her suit's analyzer. Returning, she found the fungi gone and Spike more alert, its movements less labored. "Omnivore, huh? That's convenient," Lena said, noting the spark in its eyes. By day 7, they'd developed a rudimentary communication system. 3 sharp whistles signaled danger. A low hum meant "follow me," and a double tap on her thigh plate called Spike to her side. Spike's intelligence was staggering. It mastered her signals within hours and introduced its own. A head tilt for approaching threats, a rhythmic claw scrape for hunger. Alliance xenobiologists would have a stroke, Lena said, watching Spike snare a spiked rodent with surgical precision. They labeled you a mindless beast, morons. She suspected Spike's species evolved intelligence to navigate XK-47's relentless ecosystem, not for building cities, but for outsmarting prey and rivals. Problem-solving, cooperation, and adaptability were survival tools, honed in a world where hesitation meant death. Lena's own survival now hinged on this bond, a partnership born of mutual need. On day 10, a neurotoxic storm rolled in, its clouds frying her suit's sensors with static. Lena had strayed too far, chasing a mineral vein for tool-making. Without shelter, the toxins would melt her lungs in minutes. Spike appeared, nudging her away from the cave with urgent shoves. "Wrong way, you lug," Lena protested, but its insistence was undeniable. Relenting, she followed as Spike led her to a hidden crevice masked by venomous ferns. Inside, an underground river system offered clean air, filtered by mineral deposits, that neutralized the planet's biological horrors. "You absolute genius," Lena said, awe replacing panic. Spike settled beside her, its rumble echoing off the subterranean walls. The river was potable, a lifeline beyond her dwindling pack, and the tunnels spanned kilometers, a stealth network beneath XK-47's surface. With Spike's heightened senses, its eyes piercing the dark, its nostrils detecting chemical shifts, Lena mapped a subterranean highway leading toward the survey zone. "We can reach the ship undetected," she told Spike, scratching its healed plates, which it leaned into with surprising affection. Those bastards won't see us coming. Lena's resolve was forged in Earth's refugee domes, where she'd scavenged for scraps amid collapsing ecosystems. The Defense Corps gave her purpose, teaching her to turn desperation into strategy. XK-47 was her ultimate test, and Spike's bond transformed it from a death sentence into a proving ground. Their partnership wasn't just survival, it was defiance, a middle finger to the Alliance's arrogance. Each day strengthened their trust, Lena's human ingenuity meshing with Spike's predatory instincts, creating a synergy that felt almost fated. The tunnels revealed more than escape routes. Lena found bioluminescent algae that could power crude devices, fossilized remains of Spike's ancestors hinting at eons of evolution, and mineral deposits that sparked her scientific curiosity. XK-47 wasn't just a kill zone, it was a living laboratory, and she was its first true student. Spike, sensing her excitement, led her to new discoveries, its intelligence shining in its choice of paths. "You're not just muscle," Lena said, grinning. "You're my research partner." The subterranean network was a game-changer, a hidden realm where Lena and Spike could move unseen, gathering resources for a plan crystallizing in her mind. The Alliance ship, Horizon's Edge, would depart in 12 days, assuming Lena was a corpse. She intended to crash their exit with a distress signal to force a landing, exposing Veltara and Cryon's betrayal to the galaxy. A damaged comm array jettisoned from a prior expedition was her key. Its long-range transmitter was fried, but the short-range system could work with repairs if she could find the right components. "Here's the plan," Lena told Spike, sketching in the tunnel's phosphorescent dirt. "We need 3 things. A power source, ideally thorium-laced crystals, interface components to sync with my suit, and conductive wiring, maybe from scavenged tech." Spike huffed, a nod she'd come to recognize. Its sensory organs could detect mineral signatures through solid rock, guiding Lena to thorium veins, and rusted Alliance salvage, probes, drone parts, even a cracked plasma coil. Over 6 days, she amassed a makeshift toolkit, her dome scavenger instincts thriving in XK-47's hostile bounty. Power remained the bottleneck. Lena rigged a crude generator from bioluminescent algae, but it lacked the juice for a signal. On day 8, Spike vanished at dawn, returning hours later dragging a pulsating bioluminescent organ, a biobattery from a trench-dwelling leviathan. "How the hell did you—" Lena started, then shook her head. "Never mind, you're a damn miracle." The organ's bioelectric output was stable, enough to power the patched comm, but the signal needed her suit's emergency boost, a one-shot that'd fry its remaining systems. Lena set up on a hidden ridge overlooking the survey zone, a volcanic plain dotted with jagged spires. She built traps to ensure the Alliance's response wouldn't be a clean sweep. Sonic emitters rigged with juvenile predator calls, pit traps lined with venomous thorns harvested from XK-47's flora, and EMP, pulses cobbled from scavenged coils. "They'll expect a skeleton," she told Spike, coating its plates with mineral paste for camouflage. "Instead, they'll meet us, alive, angry, and ready." Spike's clicking rumble sounded like anticipation, its eyes glinting with predatory glee. The distress signal was encoded as a routine equipment glitch, urgent enough for a cursory check but not a full alert. Timing was everything. Too early, they'd dismiss it as noise. Too late, the ship would be gone. Lena's rage at Veltara and Cryon's betrayal burned hot, but she channeled it into precision, a skill honed in the core where a single misstep meant death. Spike, sensing her focus, patrolled the ridge, its instincts sharpening her strategy. Their bond, once a fluke, was now a weapon, blending human cunning with XK-47's apex might. Lena's past fueled her drive. In the domes, she'd learned to repurpose scraps into tools, turning desperation into survival. The core taught her to read enemies, human or alien, and XK-47 was just another battlefield. Spike's loyalty gave her an edge no Alliance planner could anticipate. A partner who didn't just follow but collaborated, its intelligence evident in every calculated move. Their scavenging runs became a dance. Lena identifying needs, Spike locating resources, their signals a silent language of trust. On day 11, Lena finalized the comm rig, its patchwork of alien tech and bio-organs a testament to their partnership. She tested it, the signal faint but viable. "One shot," she told Spike, who watched with unnerving focus. "We get this right, or we're stuck here." The traps were set, the ridge fortified with natural cover. Lena added decoys, piles of bones laced with algae to mimic heat signatures, confusing sensors. "They'll think I'm dead," she said, grinning, "until you scare the scales off them." The Alliance shuttle descended on schedule, its hull glowing through XK-47's toxic clouds, landing in the survey zone with textbook precision. Lena and Spike, invisible in their camouflaged perch, watched as scanners swept the plane. The airlock opened, and Veltara slithered out, her scales bristling in a defensive coil, followed by Creon, his crystals dimmed by the planet's harsh light. Both wore elite enviro suits, a stark contrast to Lena's stripped gear. Two drones hovered, their sensors probing. "Life signs inconclusive," Creon's voice carried via Lena's audio pickup. "Signal source 250 meters east. Human survival probability negligible." "Recover her suit's data," Veltara hissed, her tongue flicking. "The Council will praise our human endurance study." Lena's jaw clenched, but she held position. "Trap one now," she whispered. Sonic emitters blared, mimicking juvenile predator cries. The plane erupted in chaos. Wildlife scattered, overloading drone sensors. EMP pulses fired, dropping the drones like bricks. "Go!" Lena signaled. Spike burst from cover, a Mercury-sleek juggernaut circling behind the officers and blocking their shuttle retreat. Its plates flared to triple its apparent size. "Reaper!" Creon shrieked, his crystals vibrating in panic. "Retreat immediately!" "I wouldn't," Lena called, stepping into view, a spear of obsidian tipped with venom glands resting on her shoulder. Veltara's tongue froze. "Dr. Varkas? Impossible." "Not dead, not mad, just furious," Lena said, stroking Spike's eye ridge, the predator leaning into her touch. "Humans adapt better than your xenobiology manuals claim." Creon's crystals rattled. "The Reaper, it follows your commands?" "Partners, not puppets," Lena corrected. "Spike's got better ethics than you." She gestured, and Spike herded them away from their weapons. Plasma rifles, Alliance elite grade. Lena scooped them up, her core training making the motion. "Fluid, we're boarding that shuttle for a long overdue chat with the Alliance about abandoning crew." Veltara hissed, "The Reaper cannot leave XK-47. Regulations." "Funny how rules matter now," Lena snapped. Spike roared, a bone-rattling sound that made Veltara flinch. "My friend's rewriting your xenobiology database, starting with what happens when you betray the human who befriends the monster you left her with." The shuttle ascent was a study in tension. Lena piloted, her hands steady on the controls, while Spike sprawled behind, its 10 eyes locked on Veltara and Creon, cuffed in the rear compartment. The officer's arrogance had crumbled under Spike's gaze, its serrated teeth bared in what Lena swore was a smug grin. "You forged my signature," Lena said, eyes on the nav screen. "Planned to write me off as a failed experiment, sloppy." Creon's crystals dimmed, his hum faint. "It was scientific necessity." Veltara's scales clicked defensively. "You were a liability, a primitive," Spike growled, a low rumble that vibrated the hull, silencing them. Lena smirked. "Liability? I'm the one with a Reaper on my side." Landing at the horizon's edge, Lena marched the officers to the bridge, Spike padding beside her, its presence sending the crew into chaos. A Quarix drone buzzed. "Reaper aboard. Protocol violation." "Violate this," Lena said, tossing the forged mission logs onto a console. "Your commanders tried to murder me. Spike had other ideas." The Quarix hesitated, its nodes flickering. Lena activated the ship's recorder, broadcasting her story. Abandonment, survival, and Spike's alliance. Send it to Alliance Command, she ordered. Unless you want to join your bosses in exile. The transmission ignited a firestorm. Within hours, Alliance investigators arrived, their sleek Corvette docking with the horizon's edge. Veltara and Cryan were detained, their enviro suits swapped for restraints. Lena and Spike, confined to a reinforced cargo bay, became an instant spectacle. Alliance scientists crowded holoscreens, analyzing their bond, while guards eyed Spike warily, their weapons useless against its armored plates. They're studying us like lab rats, Lena told Spike, scratching its plates, which it leaned into with a purr that shook the deck. But we've got their attention. The inquiry spanned 4 cycles, Lena testifying via holo feed, Spike looming behind like a living myth. Leaked shuttle footage, Lena directing a Reaper while Veltara cowered, spread across Alliance networks dubbed the Human and the Hell Beast by data streams. Veltara and Cryan's defense, claiming an unauthorized survival experiment, collapsed when ship logs revealed their intent to erase Lena. Their reassignment to a desolate asteroid outpost was a small victory, but Lena's real triumph was shifting perceptions. Her survival and Spike's loyalty forced the Alliance to question their dismissal of humans as primitives. Lena's dome upbringing fueled her resilience. Scavenging in collapsing habitats, she'd learned to read power dynamics, human or alien. The core honed her ability to turn betrayal into opportunity, and XK-47 was her masterclass. Spike's bond was more than survival. It was a statement. Humans weren't just chaos agents. They could forge alliances where others saw only threats. In the bay, Lena worked on her suit, salvaging parts to stay sharp, while Spike guarded her, its eyes scanning for danger. Their partnership drew alliance. Researchers, some awed, others terrified, all scribbling notes. A subplot emerged during the inquiry. A junior Quarix technician, part of the hive mind's lesser nodes, approached Lena covertly, its vocal node trembling. "We did not concur with the abandonment," it whispered. Veltara silenced dissent. Lena raised an eyebrow. "You're risking a lot to tell me?" The Quarix flickered. "Your bond with the Reaper. It suggests we misjudged humans." Lena nodded, filing the ally for later. The Quarix's dissent hinted at cracks in the Alliance's unity, a leverage point she'd exploit. The inquiry's public phase saw Lena grilled by a Silthar arbiter, its fluidic form pulsing with curiosity. "How did you, a human, gain the Reaper's allegiance?" it asked. Lena scratched Spike's ridge, earning a purr. "Respect, not control. Spike's smarter than your files admit. Treat intelligence as an ally, not a tool, and you get results." The arbiter's color shifted to intrigued violet, a sign she'd struck a chord. Spike's presence, a living rebuttal to Alliance dogma, amplified her words. The Alliance High Council's verdict, after heated debate, reshaped galactic dynamics. The Silthar arbiter, pulsing between contrite blue and diplomatic gray, announced, "Human classification is elevated from marginal contributor to adaptive specialist. Dr. Varkas is promoted to xenobiology integration lead, tasked with developing protocols for mixed species expeditions." Spike, officially Reaper 1 but Spike to Lena, was granted provisional companion status, pending intelligence assessments. Spike's overjoyed. Lena deadpanned as the Predator's purr rattled the council chamber, sending a delegate's data pad skittering. The ruling sparked waves across Alliance space. Lena's quarters, refitted with reinforced floors for Spike's bulk, became a hub for researchers studying their bond. A Zeltarian aide, crystals quivering, approached cautiously. "Can other humans replicate this adaptability?" Lena grinned, Spike's 10 eyes glinting like stars. "I'm middle of the pack for Earth. Wait till you meet the lunatics." The aide retreated, visibly shaken, as Lena chuckled. Spike's clicking rumble sounded suspiciously like laughter. Lena's protocols, blending human resilience with predator instincts, launched pilot programs pairing researchers with species like XK-47's lesser carnivores. XK-47 itself transformed from a death trap to a research nexus, with Lena mentoring teams on interspecies trust. "It's not about dominance," she told a seminar, Spike lounging nearby, its presence silencing skeptics. "It's mutual respect. Humans survive by turning enemies into allies." Spike rumbled agreement. It's mango ration addiction, discovered during supply deliveries, a running joke among trainees. The Quark's technicians' dissent bore fruit. After the inquiry, the hive, mind splintered, its lesser nodes forming a reformist faction advocating human inclusion. Lena, leveraging their support, pushed for transparency in alliance missions, ensuring no crew member could be abandoned again. Her dome-honed instincts for power plays made her a deft negotiator, her bond with Spike a symbol of possibility. XK-47's ecosystem, once a footnote, became a case study, its proto-intelligent flora and fauna inspiring new xenobiology fields. At their quarters, Lena scratched Spike's ridge, the predator purring like a starship engine. "They think I tamed you," she said, "but we're just too stubborn to die alone." Spike's clicking laugh echoed, a sound that would have sent any sensible being fleeing. The Alliance missed the deeper truth. On XK-47, a human and a predator proved survival wasn't about strength, but connection, rewriting the galaxy's rules with a bond forged in defiance. Their legacy grew. Lena's discoveries, neurotoxin-resistant compounds, bioelectric energy systems, fueled Alliance tech, while Spike's intelligence, now studied in controlled settings, challenged non-sentient classifications. The Varkas-Spike model, as researchers called it, inspired a galactic shift toward cooperation over conquest. Standing outside their quarters, XK-47's binary sun setting, Lena mused, "They left me to die, and we built a revolution." Spike leaned into her, its eyes on the stars, no longer a hunter but a partner in a new dawn. Call to support. If Lena and Spike's journey captivated you, support the channel. Subscribe, share, and join us for more galactic tales of unity and defiance. Your support fuels these adventures.